Hello there, you're welcome to HisGov TV. My name is Collins Nanaya Abepese. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to a summary of the new education reforms as outlined by the Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, and the National Council for Curriculum Assessment. So 3 years ago, this new educational reforms was introduced at the basic level and the junior high school level. So as I speak to you now, these reforms have been running for a period of 3 years now. Now, at the SHS level, it will begin next year. Of course, hopefully, the new, reforms would begin in the senior high school next year. And so it is important that as stakeholders in the educational sector, we, of course, visit these reforms and assess the the readiness or the preparedness of the country in rolling out these educational reforms. But before we even go into the main component of these new educational reforms, I would like to remind you to subscribe to our channel if you have not done so, and do well to share our videos with your friends who are also stakeholders in the educational sector. So now let's begin with a summary of the new education reforms as outlined by the Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, and the National Council for Curriculum Assessment. So the first component is that kindergarten, primary school, JHS, and SHS shall all be described as basic school, which then means that now basic school, initially it was only from kindergarten to primary. Now from kindergarten to SHS, we shall describe all of them as basic school. Now JHS 1, 2, and 3 and SHS 1 shall now be referred to as basic 7, 8, 9, and 10 respectively. So now we will not have JHS 1, JHS 2, JHS 3. They are going to replace with basic 7. So we'll call JHS 1 basic 7, we'll call JHS 2 basic 8, and then 3 for basic 9. Now the most important change here is that the SHS 1 is going to be called basic 10. All right, SHS 1 is going to be called basic 10. So you take notice of that. Now 2, all students in JHS 1 to SHS 1 shall run a common core program, which is called the CCP, which comprises of 9 subjects, and these 9 subjects are called mathematics, languages, sciences, RME, for physical education and health education, for career technology, social studies, computing, and creative art and designs. So what is going to happen is that when you enter JHS 1, which is basic 7 now, up to basic 10, SHS 1, old time SHS 1, you are going to do these core programs, and these core programs are called common core programs. You will do these subjects. So students are expected, or educational stakeholders, leaders in the educational sector should be mindful of that from next year going, students from basic 10 9 are still going to continue with the same subjects that they were doing, or they started doing from JHS 1. Good. Now let's move on to the next component of the educational reforms. Now 3, a new examination called the National Standard Assessment Test shall be conducted at primary 2, 4, 6, and JHS 2. So they will have a special standard test, conducted for students at these levels. So and then we will have 4. We shall also have BC shall be replaced by placement exams at JHS 3 or basic 9. Sorry. Then to enroll students into basic 10. So the question was, how then are you going to transfer students, or place students in the various SHS schools? Bear in mind that there is not going to be BC rating again. So at the end of basic 9, for which JHS 3, students are expected to write an entrance exams into basic 10, which is SHS 1, the old educational, of course, reforms, SHS 1. So BEC is going to replace with that. Now 5, students in SHS 1 shall continue to run the Common Core program for 1 year. That students into SHS 1 shall not select science, business, or art programs. So Basic 10, as we will now call it, students in Basic 10 are now going to continue, okay, to do the Common Core programs. That's the RME, the career technology, the subjects that we earlier stated. And so as it used to be in the old educational, of course, reforms, where students would choose their elective subjects in SHS 1. Here students are not going to choose their elective subjects in SHS 1, which is now called Basic 10. All right, they shall continue to do the same subjects that they started doing when they were in JHS 1, for which is Basic 7 coming. All right, good. So let's move on to the 6 components of the educational reforms. Now, at the end of SHS 1 or Basic 10, students shall write a Common Core exams into SHS 2. So I don't know if students fail these Common Core exams, they will not be admitted into SHS 2. I don't have an idea about that, but at the end of the Basic 10, after the Common Core program, students will write a Common Core exams into SHS 2. Now, when they get to SHS 2, students will now have to elect either a career-related program, which include for vocational and technical programs, or a high school diploma programs, of course, such as science, business, art, and co. So this is also a very important change, which we should also take notice of. Now, so it means that students are going to begin, or SHS students are going to begin their elective subject in SHS 2, which then suggests that it's going to take them 2 years to complete that elective subjects or program. And these were programs that students used 3 years to complete. Now it is going to be 2 years, and I don't know if changes are going to be made with regards to the contents of these subjects. Now you either choose a technical related program, or you choose a high school called diploma. And so the high school diploma, if you choose science, art, and business, and any of such elective subjects, then you will be given a diploma at the end of your 2 year of studying, say, history, biology, chemistry, physics, and so on and so forth. You'll be given a diploma. Okay, and so this is going to replace the WASI. So which then also suggests that there is not going to be WASI written in SHS schools. So that is going to be, of course, replaced. I don't know the examination body which is going to champion this, but I believe it is still going to be of course WAEC. Now you choose the educational or vocational, the TVET, or you choose whatever. So I think if you choose the career related courses, then you'll be given, I don't know whether same diploma, because I think the diploma are given for the reading subjects. All right. So 8, this means elective subjects shall start in SHS 2. Yes, as I have earlier indicated, elective subjects is going to start in SHS 2. Interesting, right? Good. Let's move on to the 9th one. Now, WASI will be replaced by a university entrance exams at SHS 3. So, as I earlier indicated, there is not going to be WASI. Students, after studying their history, biology, whatnot, they will be given a diploma, of course, certificate in those subjects: history, biology, physics, chemistry, and what. Now, students will go and write an entrance exams to of course universities. So I believe that the universities will have a medium where students will come to write an entrance exam, and this is the only way that students may get access to the of course universities. So I'm kind of thinking, how is that going to be? So imagine all these students, which then means that every SHS for graduate who has a diploma can go and write these entrance exams. And I can imagine the number of students who are going to gather at the premises of these universities, all right, to write that. And then so the last one, 10 students sorry, 10 students after successful completion of SHS3 will be rewarded a diploma certificate instead of the WASI certificate, as I also already indicated. So a diploma will be given to them as compared to the the certificate, which then means that so now don't forget that diplomas were being given at the polytechnical level. Now I think the polytechnics are now offering degrees, and also the teacher training institutions are also offering degrees. All right, so now diploma would be obtained at the SHS3 after you complete the whole process, and that is when diploma would be completed. I don't know how of course ready the country is to have all these mechanisms in place. So share your view in the comment section about these reforms, and how important do you think these reforms are, and how is it going to change our educational sector. And don't also forget that these reforms also stress on community-based education based on project work. It is said that there is going to be less content, and I believe that is why they decided to make the elective subjects 2 years, right? Because it's going to be more of community-based content, based on of course project work, for researches and all of that. So that explains why students will only use 2 years. So I think a new assessment will come, a new curriculum will come for the senior high schools.
The Minister of Education, Dr. Yao-Se Duchum, has announced upcoming substantial reforms in senior high school education. These reforms, according to him, encompass the introduction of cutting-edge courses such as aerospace and aviation. Dr. Yao-Se Duchum highlights that beginning next year, general science students, for instance, will no longer need to study integrated science and core maths, as their elective subjects will comprehensively cover these areas. City News' Bureau Chief for the Middle Belt, Edward Opon-Mafo, has more.
At the senior high school level, students have recently displayed glimpses of their creativity through various inventions. However, they often struggle to develop and nurture their talents due to a lack of available educational support systems. The undeniable creativity of these students is exemplified by the accomplishments of the engineering club at the Fiakobiampem Girls Senior High School in the Ashanti region. This club has successfully designed and flown a model airplane, in addition to creating a functional rescue watercraft. In response to these remarkable achievements, Dr. Yao-Se Duchum, the Education Minister, has announced plans for significant reforms in senior high school education. According to Dr. Duchum, the reforms include major changes in subjects studied at the senior high school level, all aimed at fostering students' creativity and equipping Ghanaian students with valuable skills.
We see students who finish the aviation pathway and they can still do engineering, do anything they want to do, but that is what they specialize in high school. And then since they will do chemistry and physics without biology, and they are not doing integrated science, they will do introduction to introductory biology, because they didn't do the biology component in the integrated science, so that they don't lose out anything and they become well-rounded. So we are creating opportunity for Ghanaian students to become more skillful and to do more. Those who are doing general science, for example, beginning next year, when we take away the integrated science and we take away the core math, they can do French for 3 years. They will also do robotics and coding. and they are still doing their journals and biology and chemistry.